call me One-Eyed Rock. Those of you who know my given name is Richard may be tempted to call me Dead-Eye Dick, but that's not really accurate. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I did this part before. It was in low resolution, but I did this part. So, really just Rock, not One-Eyed Rock. Welcome me back. And as you can see, I got this stuff removed from my eye, and vision's getting better. It was really super blurry when they first took the placenta and other stuff out, but I'm seeing better. And originally, the reason I wanted the procedure done was that by itself, the right eye was good for letting me avoid walking into walls. Don't get me wrong, not walking into walls is a good thing, but I just kind of wanted more, you know? So I talked to the people at Brevard Eye Center, and they sent me to Dr. Trace Palacios, who decided he could try to do something with scar tissue, and that's where we are now. I've got to go see him back in 2 weeks. I've got to go see my regular doctor back in 1 week because last Monday, I broke my little toe. It was broken without displacing the bones, which meant that after a few days I could walk on it, and I'm back to doing my regular full walks in the morning. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to wait till I see my doctor, but it doesn't hurt at all when I walk, so I figure it's okay. And one other thing, while I'm still doing the full res, I do want to show you what I tried to show you last time, which is the organ donor part of my driver's license. Just some proof, maybe with high definition you can actually see it. I am actually recording at 720p, which is also known as 1280 by 720. But I was making the video last week with Microsoft Windows Movie Maker, which is pretty much sucks for video recording. It apparently only records at 320 by 200. There's no setting to set your video resolution. You can set your output resolution. So I was thinking maybe it stores the video at max resolution while you're making the presentation, but when you save the presentation, that's when it actually sets the resolution. But all that happened last week was that I recorded at 320 by 200, and when I saved it at 720p, which meant that all it was a small picture made bigger, and it didn't get any extra resolution at all. It was still just a blurry 320 by 200 image. So I apologize for that, and now I'm using true video capture software called UCam, and it lets me use any resolution I want. Even lets you use 2 cameras if you want, which is good, since I thought my problem was my old camera, my Logitech WinPro 9000, but as it turns out, that would have done the same 1280 by 720 if I'd used decent video capture software. But I went ahead and bought a new Logitech camera called a 920, and it's got even better resolution. It'll go up to 1080p. I'm not going to record in that because I know from my own personal experience, YouTube videos recorded at that resolution would often have big pauses because my wideband just wasn't good enough to capture that much data without frequent delays. So I've learned a lot in the past several weeks. One of the things that's happened is I watched a vlog by a guy named John Campea. He runs AMC Movie Talk over the AMC Theaters channel, and they do daily stuff that's pretty interesting if you're into movies at all. But on Memorial Day of 2014, he spent 2 hours answering questions that people had asked him for a long time on how do you get into the business of making film blogs and vlogs and stuff. And so he talked about his background, and then he got into making a blog, a BLOG. Then he talked about doing audio casts, and finally got to doing video casts like on YouTube. And for doing YouTube videos, as far as the 4 most important technical things, it wasn't in the order I thought it would be. The first and most important thing to him was getting a good microphone, and he suggested several. And one of them was this thing, which is a Blue Yeti microphone. There's an old joke about not eating anything bigger than your head, but they didn't say anything wrong with recording with something bigger than your head. So I hope my sound was okay while I was moving that thing around. The second thing is this room, your background. He considered that the second most important technical aspect of doing a video recording, because he said people don't want to see your dirty bedroom with the unmade bed. And so I moved to my study or home office or library, whatever you want to call this spare bedroom that's not a bedroom anymore. And it is a more interesting view, and I don't have to make my bed before doing a YouTube video. The third most important thing was getting your lighting right. In fact, I think I had them backwards. Lighting was the second most important thing. Then your audio, then your backdrop, and finally your camera. So I bought some actual lights. These are from, got them on Amazon, Cowboy Studios lights. And now that I've shown you a little bit and with a blow up, let me back off to normal. And speaking of normal, let me go to my hat. And now we got what you can actually see is my bolo tie and my chin strap, so the hat doesn't blow off in the wind. This is a sun hat for Florida. And since you don't need to see my shiny head all the time, I thought I'd wear hats. And I'll wear different hats depending on what type of video I'm doing. Oh, back to John Campea. You got your audio, you got your lighting, you got your background, and finally the fourth most important technical resource is your camera. And so I've got 2 cameras to choose from now, and since I got this new one that's capable of 1080p, I'm using it, even though, like I said, I'm only recording at 720p, which you see is really wide, 1280 by 720. It's wider than I need, but at least you can see me and some of my shelves. I'm just happy, hopefully, to have something decent technically, in addition to my high quality and source material that I'm talking about. So hope you like this video. Remember that you shouldn't believe everything you hear, but hear more than you believe. These are the vids you're looking for.